What's good, YouTube? And welcome to the house to answer yesterday's most asked question. Did I see the Godzilla trailer? Heck, yes I did. And it's what a trailer should be. The lead up, the build up, not huge spoilers. The look at mother, everything was awesome and perfect. It literally brought tears to my eyes. But enough about me. Let's go ahead and get into today's market watch. Starting with Soul Fusion. The sky is falling. The prices are dropping. John, what's happening? We just had a YCS. There should be hype. Okay, the special edition is the very top thing on your screen, loading TCG Player. The special edition came out. When special editions come out, what happens to the generalized market of cards? Oh, the prices all drop. That's just naturally what happens. Look at every single snack that's listed. They're all unlimiteds. This should be ringing about. Look at Trap Trick. Oh, down from 27. Thank gosh, it's back to 20. Actually, first edition's lining the bottom prices, though, interestingly enough. All unlimiteds on Thunder Dragon Dark. All unlimited, or actually not. First ed and then Roar. We have a OCG one. I hate when sellers do this, but you get the point. The special editions are going to be ripped open, especially because we have two of the best promos in there in a long time, and perhaps the most underestimated promo in Roxy's. I was actually on TCG's players Twitter, and Roxy's is the best-selling by far thing from Soul Fusion. Let's actually click Soul Fusion just to make sure we're on it, because things change when I open all the tabs. Don't want to give spoilers on Market Watch. We go to best selling, and yep, it's Roxy's, and then the next promos. And these were the 4 best selling cards all weekend on TCG Player, actually followed by another prank kid. I think it was Dropsy. So very interesting for TCG Player to put that out on their Twitter, and interesting to see the hype is really pouring into the market for prank kids. We're about to segue a little into that, but I want to bring up a website that I've stumbled upon that's amazing, and their community is amazing, and that's goatformat.com. They have a Discord server that I personally have enjoyed being in, and they're running free tournaments for dono codes if you're into that sort of thing on Dueling Book, but more of a competitive feel for Goat Format. They have a ladder system as well you can continuously play on in their server, and in-depth articles on multiple decks and goats. So it's not just that one linear kind of deck or couple of decks. Chaos Recruiter here. They talk about the evolution of Warrior Beatdown throughout their page. They have videos of gameplay. Definitely some small creators trying to make it big in our community, and at the same time, this overall pour of work into their site for so little. 0 comments, 0 like reactions to a lot of this stuff. So I want you guys to go, if you enjoy Goat Format, go show this some love. A lot of people feel it's overrated, but personally, I really enjoy playing Goat Format on my downtime, and I think I'm going to make some new stream incentives based around Goat Format myself. So go check it out, goatformat.com. Join their Discord if you're on Discord. Definitely an amazing place to hang out and be. Now, into the segue of prank kids. Prank Kids Place is still up there a little bit, and Doo is on the rise. Past that, though, nothing really seems to be going up in price. There's just this huge amount of quantities because the set was such a flop that even these low prices can't go up for these great selling cards. It's kind of insane when you look all about it that, you know, this is the top selling card of the week, and it's still at 40 cents available for 36 copies. Like, there's no coolant on this because people were ripping open the special editions for Summon Sorceress and Isolde. Like, I think it's just going to continue to fall down. A lot of people are calling it overhyped, but at the same moment, it was a shot heard around the world. It's this moment in the community where something did something amazing that was unexpected. I think a lot of people will pick it up and fail, but I think some people will pick it up and have success, and that's most likely the people who already had it picked up, you know? They've tested with it more. And we go over to eBay, it's already even lower. There's going to be independent sellers continuously selling lower like this, so do keep an eye out for that. My end opinion on this is, I don't think it's World Chalice 2.0 and it's going to do nothing else, but I do think people will be more prepared for it, making it way harder for a repeat. I think we'll see it on the regional level a lot. The YCS circuit, I was wrong once before. We'll see where it goes from there. A good investment point that I've highly underestimated is the zombie structure decks, and they're still relatively cheap on everything. Blow Up Bloom, Shared Ride, Anti-Spell, anybody at $1.21. Everything's bound to eventually go up, I feel like, from this, and I think the zombies, they're set to finally have a competitive nature. When you get negate/ban, it's like Ballard's Rush that actually recurs itself. I really like this deck, and I really like what it has to offer, and it has so many dollar-ish cards before you hit the 50 cents like this. I think it's a really solid pickup if you can get them cheaper than retail, cheaper than this $10. And a lot of shops will often, at this point, if they still have them in stock, if you go, hey, I'll buy 3 if you'll do it for 25, a lot of shops will give you that kind of a deal. So it's something to keep in the back of your head that I really do think these are good long-term pickups. And if people have extras in their binders and are willing to get rid of stuff like anti-spell/shared ride for $1, you're not really making money there, but they're personally things I would hoard. I've been wrong hoarding before, though, many a times. Speaking of that, I noticed a huge spike in play this weekend at that YCS in Milan with Pot of Desires. Pot of Desires was in the top 8 multiple times, and the first editions are at one of their lowest prices ever still, $13.40, and the Ultras are relatively where they've been, towards that $4 mark, with some people bothering to list it lower. It's actually a solid 4+ over here on eBay, and if we go secret, let's see what we get with the TDILs. Yeah, it's a little bit more. It is TDIL, right? Let's just do that. TDIL. Ian. And yeah, above 15. So cheaper over here on TCG Player, just something to consider if you've been holding off on getting those max rarity ones. I don't think they're ever going to float back down under that $10 mark like a lot of other secret rares do, kind of like Performapal, Pendulum Sorcerer, etc. Like, I think this is a pretty solid pickup for fully hollowing out your deck if you're into that thing, which a lot of you guys are over here in Market Watch. Ding along, daddy dung. This guy has been talked about a lot because of the OCG ban list, and my advice is, golly, I just hope they don't bring him back. But it's never bad to hold on to banned cards, especially at this cheap. I would go for first eds before unlimiteds because people always need that first edition stamp for some reason. But I really hope it doesn't come back, and I want to emphasize, we're not the OCG. We still don't have Construct. We still don't have Shirt, and I think they would be way, way more against this because we saw Dinglong have a lot of success in decks like Metal Foes in the past before True King Dino, so like, I feel like they'll kind of diverge away from bringing Dinglong back longer in the TCG because it had a lot of success prior in the TCG. But I know a lot of Zephyra players want this Dinglong daddy back, and I could see it happening, but I don't want it to happen. So I have a personal confliction within my heart, and I'm being open and honest with my audience about it, that I don't want it to come back. I hope it doesn't come back. It shouldn't come back, but it could come back. So don't be caught with your pants down. If you think this could come back even at more than one, pick up your copy sooner than later. And it's never bad to have banned cards like lying around. It never is. It really isn't. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring is going up on TCG Player with only 20 prices. It's at 35 stable once again instead of 32/30. Yeah, over on eBay we see multiple listings at the $30 mark before it meets that 35 actually somewhat quickly. My opinion on this is, even though it's the off-season and there's a reprint in the OCG structure deck, we've been so jaded to that sort of thing that we just don't believe it can be. Droll and Lock, Max C early on. I'm not talking about the Ancient Gear deck. I'm talking about the original, I think it was the Blue Eyes deck or Dragons deck. Like Max C, we were supposed to get it in a structure deck. We didn't. We didn't get our Droll and Lock. Like, our structure decks on cards like this tend to change all of the sudden for the TCG. So a lot of people are thinking it won't be in Soul Burner's deck, even though it's a fire. It would fit in so nicely, and I'm along with the mindset that it won't be, but always keep an open mind. So even despite, you know, the potential for it on the horizon, it's staying solid, it's staying stable, and I think that's personally the move I would take. But anything can happen, right? Anything can happen. We wish it could happen, but it's so unlikely from the past examples Konami set that this will end up in the structure deck, especially considering both of its reprintings have been short printed. Like, that's actually insane. So Konami USA / TCG, that's EU too, I guess, in the printing, has an eye for this card where it's unlikely to be in a structure. And I guess I've passed that whole conversation besides in the community tab because, well, I just don't believe in it. I personally don't, and many others don't as well. Just looking through Flood, everything's pretty dang stable for the off-season. It looks like people learned from off-seasons past, and Permanence is staying pretty hype. Ghost Spell is staying pretty up there towards 60. Unicorn coming back into the solid 30 from when I showed it a bit ago while it was trending down. And yeah, Sucker staying up there too. Everything really just feels like it's staying up even when it sees less play. This World Legacy Succession, I think we'll see play in some Guard Dragon builds if that becomes popular, especially since of how it can abuse Boral Savage Dragon. And it's really just interesting to see how strong Flood has stayed through kind of this cool-off period. And we'll continue to watch and see if it manages to do that. Sky Strikers, on the other hand, very, very, very. I know I might sound like a broken record with the No Sooner Than, but the No Sooner Than is less than 2 months away from being up, basically. It's up in late January, so Engage is over here at 55, yet on eBay, we see a Widow Anchor already falling towards 30. We see one near mint under 50 and another at 50, and it takes a good bit before we actually see it reach towards 55. So way cheaper over on eBay for Engage, and Widow Anchor falling out faster over here too. Remember it was just at 42 a bit ago? I remember. That was just a couple market watches ago. So just for your own considerations, Sky Strikers keep doing really hot in representation. Even if they don't take a solid Dubsky, and Thunder Dragon seems like kind of the hard matchup for them, it's gotten hit in the OCG over and over. I think with the competitive season not having any events in the TCG outside of regionals, no majors, we can expect this actually to continue to go back down. It got really pumped up, really hyped for a bit there from one list that we aren't really having any USA events for. Like, we had the EU Milan, and we have, I think, an Australian YCS coming up, but I think under this ban list we don't have a USA YCS, or even North American like Mexico or Canadian YCS coming up under this list after this point until the ban list is up. So just for your consideration, yeah, play it at regionals if this is your most comfortable deck and you don't have your invite already. But if you have your invite already, you should heavily consider the amount of cash back you can get for this right now on your deck versus other decks you could be picking up with Thunder Dragons and the such going down. And again, likely to avoid list as the OCG seems to be partial to it somehow. They don't seem to be really going after it as it were. But again, these are just my opinions. What do you guys think? That's going to be it from today on Market Watch from me. There's so much going on. It's actually crazy. There's so many like potential investments and things that were overlooked from the YCS, such as Potted Desires. I noticed that immediately. I'm like, yo, this is maybe making a bit of a comeback. How do you feel about Desires now and heading into 2019? I talked about this on my Patreon feed, but I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below as well. Subscribe if you already have not. Like the video if you enjoyed the discussion, and live streaming tonight, bonus stream, Tuesday night bonus stream. See you there.